Hi, this is Shane Starr, and today I am doing the seventh of eight in a series on the 48 Laws of Power and the cognitive functions. Right now, we are going to focus on FE, Extroverted Feeling. Now, for those of you who watch my channel and know the odyssey of my own personal typing, I want you to kind of step back from that for a moment because in real life, this is the thing that I have not done so well. I'd say out of all eight of these functions, when I read this one, it's almost therapeutic in the sense that every one of these four laws I read is just like, oh man, I have not done this. I need to do a better job of this. And FE is where I have watched other people with jealousy and sometimes contempt when I think they have reached places that they did not do so on merit. I mean, think of a person who goes to school for real estate, aces the real estate exam, spends lots of money on coaching, um, marketing materials, equipment to produce marketing materials, puts everything into it only to lose to someone bubbly and happy-go-lucky. Oh, hi! And just everyone loves the person, and that person gets ahead, whereas the person putting in the work doesn't. I have seen that happen time and time again. I've seen it happen to me. I've seen it happen to others. And I've seen it across the board, not necessarily just in real estate either, but people getting by on FE, people who know how to make the crowds like them, people on YouTube, who get, thousands of followers and people on their channel watching them just because they cuss a lot. And so, just stuff like that. The pretty graphics, the bubbly personality, all of that crap, which, yes, I'm calling it crap. See, I'm getting myself worked up for nothing, right? So let's take a look at how these people operate and how they succeed in acquiring power, holding power, and gaining more power en route to success. So, extroverted feeling leads and high FE users do these things really well. So we're going to start with law 5. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Reputation is the cornerstone of power. Through reputation alone, you can intimidate and win. Once it slips, however, you are vulnerable and will be attacked on all sides. Make your reputation unassailable. Always be alert to potential attacks and thwart them before they happen. Meanwhile, learn to destroy your enemies by opening holes in their own reputations. Then stand aside and let public opinion hang them. So this applies to everyone who isn't the current president, right? Because we know the attacks on his reputation, that he's through pure grit and determination and skill, I guess, he's managed to survive. But we have, for the rest of us, people who have a good reputation, they just glide through life. I don't know how they do it. I've seen people get promoted. I've seen people get picked for grad school. I've seen people, people who aren't necessarily smart, people who aren't necessarily talented, people who do not have sufficient attention to detail to do their job in a top quality way, just leapfrog people who are doing those things. And it frustrates me to no end. And the worst thing about it, and coming full circle to this video, is unlike the other cognitive functions, I don't understand how to improve this one. This is what makes it tough. It's like SE, make yourself get out there and do it. TI, slow down, study the systems, learn the inner working of things. Knowledge is power. Okay. SI, organize yourself. Make sure you have all the basics covered, rest, health, everything. Make lists of things to do. Check it off as you go, win through organization. TE, be efficient. Create and manage your own systems for success. Get through that way. NE, work on being more open to experience, work on being more flexible with people and yourself. Learn to break out of your routines and ruts every once in a while, although that's difficult for some of us. And then NI, learn how to focus, cancel out all the noise and focus on what's really important and meaningful to you and to your success. See, I have strategies for all of those. But for FE, man, and again, this isn't some apologetic thing for typing myself or anything. I'm just saying in real life, typology aside, FE, I don't get it. I don't understand how people just two people otherwise equal, one becomes popular, one doesn't. Two people unequal, one has better attention to detail, one is more professional, one is smarter, one works faster, one has higher quality work. The other just somehow they float through it and they get promoted instead. Someone in the audience tell me how that works. So if I had like a workaround, this is how you improve your reputation, I would share it, but I don't know. I don't know how these people do it. And there's a lot of them out there. There's probably some of you out there. I don't know. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. That's law 5. FE leads and FE users do this time and time again. I don't know how they pull it off, but they do, and good for them. Okay, moving on to the next law that these guys have wired. Law 10, infection. Avoid the unhappy and the unlucky. I sound unhappy and unlucky right now. I'm not. I'm happy, and I think I'm one of the luckiest people in the world for a lot of reasons, but that's for another video. But infection, avoid the unhappy and the unlucky. You can die from someone else's misery. Emotional states are as infectious as diseases. You may feel you are helping the drowning man, but you're only precipitating your own disaster. The unfortunate sometimes draw misfortune on themselves. They will also draw it on you. Associate with the happy and fortunate instead. Now, this one is one we can kind of strategize. FE leads do this naturally without any effort. They're great at it and they're successful at it. The rest of us have to work at it. And I only have examples of the negative here, like a best friend in high school who is really mean to other people, hurt a lot of people. And I was one of his friends and I had to sort of pull away from him to get out of his sphere of bad influence. At work, people who complain a lot or are making mistakes. It's almost like in that movie show Survivor. If you see someone is getting picked on, don't be hanging out with them lest you be the next one picked on after they are either fired or quit, right? It's so Machiavellian and it feels so wrong, not right. But, if you have to help someone who's unhappy and unlucky at work, do so in private. Don't be seen by your supervisors hanging out with them, having lunch with them, talking to them. I mean, I'm always by myself at lunch anyway, by choice. I promise people will go and then I never do. Whatever, that's another subject. But for the unhappy and the unlucky, it's best to stay away from them. So much, I mean, to summarize the whole FE thing, it's that old saying of it's not what you know, it's who you know. And who you know is important, but equally important is who you don't know. And the strong FE users don't know the unhappy and unlucky. They stay away from them. They steer clear of them. And as a result, they're always in the in group, the people moving up, the people who are popular, the people who are getting promoted, the people who are getting awards. Be like them. I'm the guy who will lead in every category and someone else gets the award. That's me. The points leader, but someone else gets the MVP instead, right? Yeah. So, Law 10, avoid the unhappy and the unlucky. That's what FE users are great at. That's what they do. You would do well to do the same. And that's something that is actionable. We can all make moves to do that. Unlike the other one, like making your reputation better. I mean, the only way I know how to do that is to work hard and be good and be nice to other people, but that's not enough. Somehow they have some other magic that helps them towards that end. Okay, next up, we're going to skip to Law 27. This one is play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. People have an overwhelming desire to believe in something. Be the focal point of such desire by offering them a cause, a new faith to follow. Keep your words vague but full of promise. Emphasize enthusiasm over rationality and clear thinking. Give your new disciples rituals to perform. Ask them to make sacrifices on your behalf, and in the absence of organized religion or grand causes at work, your new belief system will bring you untold power. Again, these FE people are so good at this. They create their own little groups with their own little rituals, with their own little topics, either a TV show they're all watching or the Zodiac or something. And you'll see like some hard ass, TE user or something, get suckered into the group just with this FE orchestrating like a puppeteer pulling everyone's strings, talking about what happened on the last Game of Thrones episode or something. And everyone just gets sucked into it. And here I am on the outside looking in going like, I don't want to be in that group, but then at the same time being ostracized from it's no good either. So the FE people are great at creating those little subgroups, and they have their little, sometimes verbal, sometimes unverbal belief systems that they adhere to. And if you're in the group, you're in. If you're not, you're not. And if you have your own little group that you can make popular, then you're either a FE lead or a high FE user. And take advantage of that. Do that. There's power in numbers. And when you have a little crew hanging around you, and you're the spoken or unspoken leader, you're going to do well, whether it's in social circles or at work. The people who move up at work are the people in that in group, and they're usually somehow, some way the creator of that in group. They make a little club. It could be a reading club. It can be a little weekly lunch thing they do, just whatever it is. That's something actionable, but not easy if you're not good at FE. And in real life, regardless of typing or anything else, if you're not good at it, you're going to suffer in that way. So use what you can, when and where you can. Okay, last but not least, this really sums up all of FE, and it sums up the whole book, really. FE is such the elusive, important tool for gaining power. It's like magic. And here we go with Law 24. Play the perfect courtier. The perfect courtier thrives in a world where everything revolves around power and political dexterity. He or she has mastered the art of indirection. He flatters, yields to superiors, asserts power over others in the most oblique and graceful manner. Learn and apply the laws of courtiership, and there will be no limit to how far you can rise in a court. So true. Top FE users, high FE users, it's like there's nothing. I mean, you can't totally suck at your job, because then that will put a dent in you. A chain is only as strong as its weakest link, at least most of the time. But I can't tell you how many high profile officers, we're not talking like mid-range managers or even their supervisors or their managers. I'm talking people really high up in corporate offices. They really don't even know that much. It's amazing, but they're not dumb, of course, but they're not like brilliant IQ, top quality attention to detail workers. They just somehow have this charisma that people see them as leaders. And if you don't have that, I don't know that you can produce it. You can't get there just on numbers. I'm proof of that. You can outperform everyone, and if you're not seen as leadership, you're just not seen as leadership. And these guys, they know how to play the game. They know how to flatter their superiors, exercise authority over the people under them, laugh when they're supposed to laugh, cry when they're supposed to cry, work hard when they're supposed to look busy, relax when they're supposed to not be thinking about work, like on a break or something. Never in a hurry, never stressed out. They come in smiling even when it seems like they shouldn't be. They're cruising, man. And I think the best way we can do that is to just fake it till we make it. Have gratitude for where you are in life. Be happy where you're at. Appreciate what you have. Do the best you can with what you have, and be nice to other people. And that's playing your hand as good as you can. And if you're not an FE lead, you're probably never going to be all the way grow to the top, but you'll get far enough to make a good life for yourself in the realm of power and success. All right, that's all I have for FE today. I'm coming back later today with our final video on FI. I'll probably change outfits so it doesn't look the same. But that's about it. Peace out.